Can Social Security employees be fired? Short answer, yes. Long answer, but. Hey, this is Dr. Ed Weir, recently retired district manager of Social Security Administration. I ran one of the busiest offices in the country, over 80 employees, thousands of people every day. And as a district manager, I had my share of employee terminations. So it is possible. So why am I doing this video? Well, when I retired December 2021, I did an exit interview, being I've got my PhD in history, so I did my own little oral history, my own little exit video, and I put it on YouTube, and I got quite a few people watching it, particularly Social Security employees. A lot of them reached out to me, and they're still reaching out to me, asking questions about this, that, or the other, particularly about management, and why is our manager in our office doing it this way? Is that a good way to do it? Is that legit? Should I complain? Who do I complain? I complain and nothing happens. So I continuously get people reaching out, Social Security employees, current employees, retired employees, asking all those type of questions. So I talk to a lot of people individually, and I get a lot of the same questions. So this video is kind of a broad kind of information for the rest of the employees out there if they're interested in the subject. Today I'm going to talk about, as the title suggests, in terminating federal employees, particularly Social Security employees. Yes, it is possible. So as I mentioned, I have fired my share of employees for various reasons. Some were very, very good reasons. Well, they all had reasons. Some were better than others. Some where they did some type of, as you sure employees don't access other people's records, you're not entitled to access. For those who are not employees, be sure that Social Security employees aren't looking through just everybody's record and just to see how much my ex-wife is making, how much my brother is making, and stuff like that. If they do, they will get terminated. I have terminated people specifically for that reason. Accidents do happen, and we take that into consideration, transposing numbers, and it turns out, it was a famous, Arnold Schwarzenegger or something like that. Oh yeah, okay. The employee, the visitor that you had, there's last two of the Social Security number was a 5'6", but you actually only put in 6'5", and it turned up Arnold Schwarzenegger's, earnings record, and so that's obviously an accident, and we kind of, take that into consideration. But if the Social Security number is not even close, and it's obviously, somebody famous, or your brother or sister, ex-husband or ex-wife or something like that, then that is definitely grounds for termination. And as I mentioned, we have terminated people for that reason. So for the general public out there, Social Security is extremely, extremely vigilant about things like that. So that's a good thing. So obviously, when an employee does something like that, as we always say, that's a train that you have jumped on that we can't stop. So regardless of how your local management loves you and you're just doing an awesome job and you take, 10 times as many claims as everybody else, if you do something like that, it doesn't matter how much, we love you and appreciate you and all the rest of it. Yeah, that train is going off the cliff, unfortunately. So. All right, but what about other than policy type access violations? So I get a lot of people reaching out to me, Social Security employees, and say, we've got people in our office and they should have been fired a long time ago and all the rest of it. Why is my manager not doing it? Well, number one, your manager just may be lazy. It takes a long time and a lot of paperwork to fire an employee. So hopefully they are not in that category where the person is obviously not pulling their weight. They are the weakest link, and management just has to get off their butt and start the paperwork and get it done. Okay. All right. But there are other circumstances. Sometimes because of the lack of hiring, the lack of replacement. So if a manager looks at their total staff and they look at their workloads and they say, okay, we're barely keeping above water right now, as most offices in the country are barely keeping above water. They all need more staffing. And you have X employee that is doing, 70, 80% of what they should be doing, so other people are taking up the slack. So that person, should be on the bubble, and, termination proceedings or some type of, opportunity to perform, or, performance assessment or something like that needs to get done to get that person back into the fold. But if the person is just, just slow and not willing or not able to do it, or for whatever reason, sometimes the manager takes that into consideration because of, okay, if I get rid of this person who is doing 70, 80% of what everybody else is doing on average, I get rid of that person and I can't hire anybody else. There's no more allocations for hiring. So I've lost that person, and the rest of the staff is going to have to take up the slack. Okay? So maybe that's a reason why that person has been terminated. Once an allocation comes and now you can hire, then obviously, okay, now it's time for that person to, get with the program. There are other situations, you might not know of an employee's personal issue. Maybe they're going through some tragic, terrible, we've had that happen, situation at home, and they want to keep it completely quiet. And, they're just not themselves. Normally, that's the thing about Social Security employees. Once you're hired for Social Security, you stay for decades. And all people, and, some years, you work great for, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and then just something happens, and, with your personal life or whatever, you're just not yourself. And, for several months or several weeks or whatever the case may be, you're just not pulling your load. So, give your fellow employees a break. It's a very stressful job, and the management can't tell you what type of proceedings, what type of disciplinary action is going on with a particular employee. So, you look at your office and you look at a particular employee and you see nothing happening to them. How come this person is only doing, 50, 60, 70% of the time they're doing a terrible job, yada, yada, yada. How come management is not doing anything? Well, maybe they are doing something, but you just don't know about it. As I used to say in my staff meetings all the time, we stopped public executions in the parking lot last week. People, some employees just want, to take that employee out in the parking lot and, public execution in front of everybody. That just, it doesn't work that way. So there might be something going on behind the scenes that you're just not aware of. Perhaps another reason is there might be some type of legal action, a lawsuit going on, a previous lawsuit, some type of, that we've had employees, as I mentioned in my exit interview, that, we had an employee that would literally sue me if I said good morning in the morning. And then the next year I got a lawsuit for not saying good morning. Literally. So there might be something along those lines, and therefore it takes quite a bit longer because you have to go through all of, the legal and the lawyers always make it more difficult for everything. So that might be a situation. Unions might get involved sometime and, draw out the process and, want the unions are there to protect the employees. And sometimes they do it, most times our union representatives did a phenomenal job. They had a nice balance. They were very, very interested in customer service. So the customer service was the most important for them. But they understood that, you only can provide great customer service with great employees. So they were always looking to make sure the employees did the best and sure they protected the rights of bad employees, but they also drew a line and said, but you're just not helping out the public. So there's that. So hopefully you don't have a union representative in your particular part of the country that, stops management from doing anything to any employee. So hopefully there's a nice balance amongst your union representative. So those are most of the reasons. If you have anything else, management out there, regular employees, just leave a comment down there. Send me an email. Obviously, everything I've have received, it's completely anonymous. Um, this is as you can see, my YouTube channel. I'm doing the whole Medicare thing, helping people throughout the country navigate Medicare and Social Security and everything like that. But I want to do this new series, reaching out to my fellow Social Security compatriots. So this is I'm hoping this will be kind of a forum for Social Security employees. So if you have any questions you want me to address, one of the things I've noticed is, again, being the busiest office in the country, we would have people transfer from other offices or transfer from our office to another office. And they're always saying, oh my gosh, I went to this other office and they were like so laid back and we only took like 3 claims a day. And, it was awesome. But then I go to Social Security in my office. And yeah, it wasn't like that. Yeah, we were always knee deep. So I think there needs to be a lot more balance across the country. And hopefully this is a forum that we could use to do that. So if you see any issues, contact me through my email or put a comment, set up a bogus account, I guess, and put a YouTube comment down there. If you want me to do another video notifying the public in general, how to make it easier to navigate Social Security, if Social Security policy procedure has changed, please let me know, and I'll do a video, kind of reaching out to the country and tell them, okay, Social Security is now doing it this way, and if you want to make your visit to Social Security easier, please, take this into consideration. If you have management issues, please contact me. And if I see a consistent pattern among management or union reps or any of that, I will do a little video and bring that to the attention. One thing that I did notice when I did my exit interview, I reposted the exit interview on this channel, but I had it in another channel as well. So it got several thousand views, and I can see where the views are coming from. And a lot of the views came from Baltimore. So the people in headquarters were watching my video. So hopefully they watch this one, and hopefully they can find it constructive as well. I'm not here to tear down the agency. I love working for Social Security. The Social Security employees are just awesome. The mission of Social Security is outstanding. So I am here to do everything I possibly can in my current capacity to help out the American public and to help out Social Security employees and the agency as a whole. This first video, unfortunately, was a little bit negative, but I want to do more positive, constructive criticism, I guess. So if you have any questions, make sure you reach out to me, give me a call, email me. Put down some comments, subscribe, and that way you can hear all the good stuff and possibly some bad stuff in the future. But we'll talk to you next time. Have a beautiful day.